The best investment on earth is earth. The issue of say make a person get house, make a person get land.
Property matter na serious business, so one of the best investments wey person fit get for life.
Viewers at home, good morning. Good morning. I hope you've been enjoying also. I think we'll be doing some reviews, Abby.
Yeah,
of all that we've shared this year, because there are some fantastic things that we've shared this year that have been of benefit to a lot of people. They call us, they reach out to us, they call on air while we are right in the studio and stuff like that.
Skype.
So yeah, at the Skype, yeah. But then we'll be reviewing those things. However, today we want to also center on something that is really, really.
I saw that in the news. I think last week. Yeah, last week.
Yeah, it's something that is really, very current. Talking about the monthly rent issue that Lagos State is trying to midwife. So how do you just shedding some light on it so that people can better understand what that implies. Can I ask you, Chief, this monthly rent stuff, what do you think it is all about? About 2-3 weeks ago,
yes,
we did something on whether you want a monthly rent or yearly rent, and
a lot of callers.
Nobody even said yearly. Nobody said monthly. All of the callers we had, about 7 or so of them, said yearly, that they would prefer to pay rent yearly. And of course, there are so many reasons why that is so, and justifiably so, But then, this Lagos State something, where then they do so. If they get and where, it go help. Let's see. What do you have any update on it in any way?
The one where me I see there, they say, I feel say the very first thing we then look into, or the very first thing we make them want to do this thing, then they consider masses. The government is public oriented.
Yes,
and the reason why they want to be that. But I don't know the nitty-gritty. What I thought the nitty-gritty of it be say landlords they don't go agree. Is it enforceable? These are the places we need you, sir, to help us expatiate and sensitize us. For instance, you are the owner of your house. Say ìjọba lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ alájọ aṣọ pé pẹ́pẹ́sẹ́ o engineer Debo, you must not.
You must be collecting monthly
not yearly. Àwọn kí ló surround the I don't want to use law because
what are the surrounding factors?
Because you say no be lawyer.
You know now. I don't be lawyer. Never don't be lawyer. I don't be lawyer.
No, what are the surrounding laws now? What are the surrounding factors?
I get you. Okay, I get you. So when I also first heard about this initiative, ordinarily, one's mind will just go to the fact that really, can government legislate such a thing? Can you force a landlord to say you must be collecting monthly rent? Remember when they did this in 2012, and if you know Lagos before, if you want collect house, now 2-year rent.
Benny, 2 years. Some even collect 2.5.
Don't they even go to some? They collect 3. They collect. Don't they increase like that?
Agreement and
there is government of, I think it was Raji Fashola.
Yes, Raji Fashola.
Government of Raji Fashola, yes. Then brought out a law, renewed the tenancy law, and then said, look, in some places, so in Lagos, or they said generally in Lagos, so it should be 1 year, but they exempted some places, Ikoyi, Apapa, Ikeja, GRA, and all of that. Those ones can do as they like. Since we say people when they there, even if they say they pay 10 years, now they know what they look for the place they go pay. I mean, they feel pay. Now they know the thing where they chop to tele-equal.
Yes.
You understand that? They know what they chop to tele-equal.
Timbari 10 million. Ọ̀yọ́ yanu kílódé ń dún.
Ọ̀yọ́
ti ya.
Mo kí mi lè.
Màá kàn lọ di balẹ̀.
Ṣé ẹ̀rọ mu tí láàárọ̀?
Àgbà mu tí láàárọ̀.
Àlọ́ ka newspaper.
Àka newspaper. Mo bá wọn tó lu.
Ṣé wọ́n máa gbẹ́jọ́ wá kẹ́ máa
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni balẹ̀ ọkọ lu.
You can imagine.
Ó ní òkú lẹ́mìí dáadáa.
So they accepted those areas, and but generally. And that's in a way, even though there were a lot of resistance.
Did people really comply that time? That's one.
There were a lot of resistance.
I remember that time. I remember vividly, too long. I remember I said some landlord, they talk, say, show no baba call one.
Yes. There were some resistance, but we can ask ourselves now, are people complying?
Say Mobalaji Johnson time, how was the compliance? And compared to that of the one we Raji Fashola do, then now narrowing it down
to tell ourselves if there was compliance, would there be need for Fashola to also then do something. Or even, I think Jakonde also tried to do something. In his own way, he did it in a more effective way. He tried to create the houses.
Low cost.
Yes. So, but the issue is that it's difficult to legislate things like that. Like the 2 years one now, we are saying, is not as effective. There are still places where, if you like the property, you better come and pay 2 years.
If not,
there is how they will write your receipt and things like that. Do you understand?
That it is one.
Do you understand? And yes, there are places where you can enforce the law, because for me, for example, for us, we don't collect 2 years. You know,
okay.
For places, yes, for places where we will collect your 1 year, we will advise the landlord accordingly and things like that. But there are other people that don't send you, or other places that really is not possible. Do you understand? Now, to now be hearing that they now want to make it monthly. People are still struggling with yearly. Do you understand?
Landlord, you know,
and you know, in that our last episode, that our 2 weeks or so episode, we analyze the challenge of monthly rents, the
and
kind
the importance of
yearly rent, why it will help everybody, both the tenants and the landlord. And a number of people called to say they will prefer yearly, if that is the case. But you see, this is the good thing with the Lagos State initiative, the current initiative. Now, they are not really saying, okay, that landlord must collect rent monthly.
Okay. It's not yet a bylaw. It's not yet an edit.
No, it's not
legislation.
No, you see, so they are not even going through the route of legislation. It's not that they want to legislate. More or less, what they want to do is what you can call social intervention
or persuasion.
Intervention. Intervention in the sense that what government is trying to do is create a system with some partners in private sector that will create an avenue for me, a tenant, who cannot afford yearly rent, to go to that body and say, people, please help me pay my landlord for 1 year. Me, I go dey pay now monthly.
More like anytime when my own salary enter,
I go pay now. But now don't settle Baba landlord for 1 year. That's more or less, that's the summary of what they are trying to do. So they are trying to help people, intervene in a way that people can pay monthly rent if they cannot afford yearly rent. But landlords will still get yearly rent if that's what they want.
What do I love you to buy?
You
so
know,
nobody they do embargo on top landlords. No embargo. This one are more like, in fact, we can't call it persuasion, really, na intervention. Because they are, if I get it right, they are trying to work with private bodies. Say, you'll be giving house to these people. Among these people, some company go to pay them yearly. So me as a tenant, I go come to reinforce, and I go to reimburse that.
More or less like an avenue for tenants to secure loan, to pay their yearly rents while they service the loan over the year, like monthly.
But can we still liken it to mortgage? So mortgage.
Mortgage implies that you are buying the house. For rent is a wasting asset.
No one's talking, even do me. This thing they even jamala aje.
Sack your landlord now.
If
it's Jaila, yes, you sack your landlord. That's what we say.
Sack your landlord.
Yes, so you give him red card.
And where person go come pack go.
And you go pack go where you sack and go now. Your house. If you don't know how to do that, consult. That's why we are here.
Yes, that's true. That's why they are here, because most of the things where we don't know information na be key according to our people.
Yes.
If you say if you get house of 3 million, if you say how person will get 4 million and get house, but if you contact the likes of this man here,
move close.
Then you go know say even with a few millions you can become a land owner. Therefore, so they talk about monthly rent and how people feel take benefit from the Debo don't break them down, you don't dissect them, you don't explain the ones we will not get there. So maybe say there's any bylaw or be any legislation say you must collect monthly as a landlord. No, you don't explain the one who need, so that this kind of thing nobody cause a katakata outside. Okay, so over to you, sir.
Yes, so just in addition to that, to let people know that they said it will start in January. Okay. Now, the challenge I have with government is how realistic that is if we don't have the modalities clearly spelled out now. the people don't know where to go to now. But let's hope that between now and when the year will be over, there will be a number of information that will be shared out there for people to know how to go about
and benefit from it.
How to benefit, how to, if I'm a landlord, I want to put my property under that kind of arrangement, how do I do? If I'm a tenant, I want to benefit from such, how do I go about it? I believe that those information will be shared. So people should pay attention, they should be on the lookout for those information, because what they said is that it will start in January.
So
go ahead.
As a house owner, sir, I have the right to say I want to enlist my house among the...
That's what I had. I heard that they are coming up with a portal, they already have a portal.
Okay.
Where if you're looking for such a property, you are probably going to go to that place and look for properties that are available under that kind of arrangement. So I believe there are such. It means that some landlords will offer their property and some prospecting tenants will go there to look for. It could also mean that anywhere you find property, once you don't find property where you want rent, you will just apply, give the details. Maybe they will pay the landlord. So landlord will know they pay tax for Lagos now, or we never get Lagos membership number, resident number. Make say all of those is you need to get. I'm sure to exactly, because there will be pre-qualification.
Sure.
They also said that they are starting with the formal sector.
What do you mean formal sector?
So formal sector are people who have regular source of income. What do I mean by that? Known and regular source of income. So people who work in formal places, who earn salaries.
You mean government parastatals?
Salary earners, not necessarily government parastatals, but I'm sure it will be easier for them to start with civil servants because those people are in their custody, especially in terms of repayment, and all of that. So, but formal sector generally is where they said they will start before they now extend it to informal sector. At least they want to master how it will work out, with the formal sector. And news also about 5 billion I'm hearing, whether it's already earmarked or it's going to be earmarked for that purpose to start off, to kickstart that process or that project. I'm not sure, but the news I read and the information I gathered, we're not so sure. There were conflicting news as to whether it's been earmarked or it's just going to be sourced and things like that. But 5 billion was being mentioned here and there as to what the government would give for that project. He also spoke about construction collapse,
Yes, we spoke about collapse this year. But I want to quickly say that the essence of the show now make una get proper information. We will benefit una. That means say they worth and be that the show is worthy. So if truly you don't tap into this one, go on Google. And Debo don't talk. Not to a person they find. We don't go see if you Google search. So Google search it. You get one information that can lead you to the next step. So, going back to what we don't talk about, we've talked about building collapse.
Yes, people should watch out for things like that. It's very important to really be mindful when you are investing in real estate, either as a developer or as a person just investing to buy and all of that. Very important, because when these things happen, they set you back a great deal. That people involved in housing collapse now, apart from losing lives that we cannot gain again,
resources
back to life, which is major. The resources also, how many people it has set back in their lives. I was watching the video of one of the survivors of that episode, a workman on that site, and he says since that incident occurred and between that time and when he was doing that video, he has not been able to take on any job again. He's a bricklayer, but he said the trauma has not enabled him to be able to go to any site again and work, because he just gets flashes of
that
moment and sees people and all of that his colleagues that are already gone and stuff like that.
Because you go they read, you go
they read.
That's the reminiscence.
Yes, reminiscence. So it's very important that people pay attention to that. We've also spoken about things that people should watch out for when they are looking for property.
I don't want to make we rush am. Maybe make we dedicate the last episode, which is Tuesday next week, to itemize and
review all of those.
Review. They'll go open the phone line from the beginning of the show. Keep going, as we say goodbye to 2021. we want. So we thank all our esteemed viewers when I deal with us. We not be do am alone. Now with una the thing dey possible. We thank Engineer Debo also as we don't draw the curtain small for the last episode of the year. Thank you very much, sir.
Shey you be estate agent, surveyor, town planner, or you dey into furniture and you go like make the world sabi your level? Come advertise with us on top property matter wey dey shele for WAP TV for every Tuesday 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. and on Saturdays 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m.